Do you ever get anxious when you speak? Have you ever experienced your heart start to race like it's going up against Usain Bolt? Your voice starts to rattle like a snake. Blood pumping everywhere, your body all tense, butterflies in your stomach, your face all wet, you're sweating. Have you ever felt like you were going to be judged if you were to speak your mind? Well, here's the truth. That anxiety that you're experiencing comes from the fear of judgment. But you can break free from that. Matter of fact, you can break free from that today. So in this video, we're going to discuss my Realization Humanization Principle that's going to help you overcome that anxiety and that fear of judgment so that you can be able to speak with confidence. In the words of the greatest artist of all time, you are not alone. In fact, so many people experience anxiety when they speak because they believe that others are out to get them. They believe that others are out to tear them apart. In fact, I just had a conversation with a female not too long ago at the gym. She was telling me about how her sister refuses to come to the gym because she believes that if she begins to work out, other people will have their eyes on her and will begin to judge her and have a negative view of her. So it is often that so many of us experience anxiety in so many ways. In her way, she didn't want to be seen, but in other ways, a lot of people refuse to speak their minds and say what they want to say. In the words of Kevin Hart, say it with their chest, because they believe that so many people and the people that they are surrounded by will have a negative perception of what that person just said. And I understand. The fear of judgment is powerful for all of the wrong reasons. Now, what is that exactly? It is an assumption that someone will have a negative opinion or view about you. And because we are all social creatures, it is within our desire to be in a social group or fit in with other people. We feel that our worth is less than others if we're judged for having an opinion or taking upon a stand that we believe in. I used to experience anxiety because of this fear, because I know for a fact that I'm controversial, not to upset anyone, but because I know that my opinions are normally different than others. I like to think more differently than others, and I don't like to accept what the culture has deemed as normal or acceptable. I like to challenge the normal way of thinking. And so when you are that way, you alienate yourself from fitting into the culture because your views are ruffling the feathers of what other people have already accepted as normal or correct. And so there were times when my heart was beating fast and it was racing Usain Bolt. There were times when my voice started to rattle and I didn't speak with confidence and take upon a stand that I should have. There were times when my body was all tensed up and I had butterflies in my stomach and my face was all sweaty. But due to the Realization Humanization Principle, I was able to overcome those effects and I was able to speak confidently. So how do we do that? So just to give you a backstory on how I discovered this principle, I was struggling as a young man. I was taking L's upon L's, not able to solve the greatest enigma at that time, which was women. And so I went up to my uncle and I was telling him the problems that I was facing. And he said, Jadarius, you gotta stop placing people on a pedestal. They stink just like yours. And that's how that principle got discovered. What he was basically saying is this: the fear of judgment fades when you stop placing people on a pedestal and start recognizing their humanity. That is what that principle is all about. It's about realizing that they are human just like you. They are individuals just like you. They was created in the same manner just like you. They have flaws just like you. They are imperfect just like you. They mess up. They take L's just like you. When they wake up in the morning, they probably got hot morning breath just like you. They probably pass gas all the time just like you. They probably stub their big toe on the side of their bed just like you. You have to realize that they are humans just like you. This simple mindset shift will begin to eliminate, eradicate, and annihilate the pedestal that you've placed them on. And it will allow you to realize that y'all are on the same level. Maybe they have some strengths and some uniqueness and some greatness about them that makes them a certain way, but so do you. These are human beings that we're talking about. These ain't gods. These ain't kings or queens. These ain't individuals that have something so perfect about them. These are human beings. And we have to realize that we have to start humanizing them in order for us to eliminate that fear that is preventing us from speaking with confidence. So how do we place this in action? What should we do? So whenever you find yourself feeling anxious to speak because you fear that someone will have a negative opinion or negative view upon what you're about to say, you have to make yourself first aware of that. Be aware that you're feeling that way, feeling uncomfortable, feeling in a way that shouldn't be the case. Then you start humanizing them, letting it be known to yourself that they are human just like you. They have insecurities just like you. I don't know, baby, for you need to start looking at their visual imperfections and allowing that to eliminate the pedestal that you've placed them on. For me, I had to start reminding myself, oh, this is a regular person. This ain't nobody special. And I don't say that to minimize people, but I say that to eliminate that pedestal that I once put them on. Sometimes if you start paying attention to their imperfections, that will start humanizing them. I don't know. Sometimes some people don't realize that they got a booger in their nose. Pay attention to that and stop allowing yourself to feel inferior to them and eliminate that pedestal that you've placed them on. Pay attention to something and start humanizing them, realizing that they are human just like you. Then you want to start speaking to them as if they're humans. Don't speak to them as if you feel inferior to them. No, this is an individual who was made in the same manner as you. There's uniqueness about both of y'all that makes y'all different in ways, but y'all are the same in terms of y'all are both humans. So speak to them as a peer and not as if they're your God. So I want you to remember that anxiety that you're experiencing, that's creating that fear of judgment, will begin to fade when you see them for what they really are, what they truly are, which are humans. You gotta practice awareness, humanization, and equalization in order for you to be able to speak with that confidence that you're looking for. If this video has opened your eyes to why anxiety is holding you back and preventing you from speaking with confidence, then it's time that you go deeper. That's why I put together a complete masterclass that's called The Hidden Fear that's silently keeping you off camera and killing your confidence. In this masterclass, I break down what's keeping you frozen and paralyzed and how to break away from that to be able to speak with confidence. So click the link in the description because your voice matters and it needs to be heard. Thank you so much for watching this video. Matter of fact, if you watch either one of these videos, I promise you they're going to solve the problem that you have.